Under starters orders for Heat 1, there goes the green flag. 18 BriSCA Formula 1s away and racing on Heat 1 World Championship qualifying round action. Led into turn 1 by 139 Stuart Smith, moving up the inside of number 40 Steve Smith, and Craig Smith, just as he did last month, 407, goes in with a crunch at the end of the home straight, and he's hooked up on those wires. We've also lost the other two white top drivers over on the exit of turn 1. That's Stu Smith and Steve Smith, 139 and 40. And 424, Mike Hayward goes in at the exit of the back straight in 424. So now it's Shane Durrell, 371, who leads from 26, Ray Williams, 202, Richard Mason. Trouble for 22, William Yarrow, number 6, Phil Wilton, with Wilton being spun right around and out of the action on turns 1 and 2. So here come the leaders over the start-finish line. 371, Shane Durrell in first, 26, Ray Williams second, 202, Richard Mason in third, and 134, Wally Pittam in fourth. Coming under pressure from 128, John Wright, who moves through past Wally Pittam into fourth place. Pressure for second place as 26, Ray Williams is shunted wide by 202, Richard Mason, and Mason comes through on the inside to go through to second place in this Heat 1 of the World Championship qualifying round. But still, it's 371, Shane Durrell, who leads over on the back straight. 424, Mike Hayward has retired to the infield after his shunt on the wires in the early stages of Heat 1. And here come the leaders over the start-finish line once again. Cars well spread all around the raceway in the early stages of this Heat 1. 175, Rob Pearce doing his best to hold out 471. Bobby Burns in a battle down the places, but doesn't quite manage it as Bobby Burns 471 moves through past Pearce. There could be a change for third place as John Wright, 128, moves up the inside of 26, Ray Williams on the home straight. And there goes John Wright in with the bumpers into turns 1 and 2, and Williams moves wide, and John Wright goes through into third place. But the race leader is still 371, Shane Durrell from 202, Richard Mason. John Wright 128 in third, and 26, Ray Williams in fourth place. 471, Bobby Burns is fifth, 175, Rob Pearce sixth, 134, Wally Pittam is seventh place, and in eighth is 22, William Yarrow. It's the top 8 places on the charts that qualify for tonight's grand final, event 5 on the programmes, and that's the top 8 at the moment, although William Yarrow is shunted out of 8th place and into the wires by 203, Danny Clark. And the lead is now in dispute between 371, Shane Durrell, and 202, Richard Mason, with Durrell just holding out Mason as they go on to the back straight, with John Wright in a solitary third in 128. And the lead could be about to change as Richard Mason, 202, puts the pressure on 371 Shane Durrell, and it is the halfway stage of Heat 1. That's the way they are at the halfway stage, with a battle for the lead between two yellow top drivers. 371 Shane Durrell, who's drifting wide, and 202 Richard Mason, who's coming through on the inside. As they go across the start-finish line, Mason takes the lead in car number 202 at the halfway stage of Heat 1, with 371 Shane Durrell trying to put the pressure on in second, and John Wright 128 trying to get with them in third. First red top driver to show is 471 Bobby Burns. Here come the leaders over the start-finish line then once again, and there will be 5 laps to run next time for 202 Richard Mason in the lead. So on a very dry track, it's the two yellow tops that lead the way with 5 laps to run in Heat 1. 202 Richard Mason over the line in first, followed by 371 Shane Durrell, with John Wright having to give his second best to 471 Bobby Burns down the home straight as Burns goes through into third place, leaving John Wright 128 in fourth. The battle going on between the red tops with 203 Danny Clark and 97 Murray Harrison very much involved down the back straight. Murray Harrison trying to push Clark out of the way, only succeeds in spinning himself, and 91 Will Fawns goes in awfully hard there on the 97 car. Takes the Will Fawns 91 car right up on 2 wheels on turn 4. And there's now 3 laps to run for our race leader, 202 Richard Mason from 371 Shane Durrell in second place. 471 Bobby Burns comes across the line in third, with 128 John Wright in fourth place. So the top 4 spread very evenly around the raceway. 202 Richard Mason comes off turn 4 to see the 2 laps to run board. 371 Shane Durrell a bit further back down track in second place. Then 471 Bobby Burns and 128 John Wright, with 175 Rob Pearce in 5th place, moving through closer to the 128 car all the time. But the race leader is about to move on to his last lap. 202 Richard Mason. No traffic around the 202 car. It looks like he's on his way to an easy victory here on Heat 1 of the World Championship qualifying round. So 202 Richard Mason comes off the last turn to win qualifying Heat 1. 371 Shane Durrell crosses the line in second with 471 Bobby Burns in third, and a battle going on for fourth as 128 John Wright just holds out 175 Rob Pearce over the start finish line. Very close there as the 128 car drifted wide and Rob Pearce saw his chance to come up the inside, but that's the way they finished with 128 fourth and 175 in fifth. And we can have the red flags, please. There goes the green flag on qualifying. World Championship qualifying round action. And already it looks like we almost lost 436. Richard Knight had drifted very wide on turn 4. And he's away and racing over the start-finish line again, taking Chris Cook 460 right out of the action. So Chris Cook spun the wrong way around, and number 7 Phil Bicknell tangles up with 117 Rod Scriven. And we lost 507 Neil Smith. Our race leader 159 John Sage has gone up on turns 3 and 4. He's back racing again, but he's handed the lead over to 397 Steve Reese over the start-finish line, with 105 Keith Palmer briefly in second place, although 159 John Sage regains that second place into turns 1. Neil Smith 507 has bailed to the safety of the outside track from his stranded 507 car. And our lead car 397 Steve Reese is struggling to get round turns 3 and 4, with John Sage 159 catching him in second place. So there's the lead 2 cars over the start-finish line. Already showing well from the red tops is 55 Bert Finnegan moving through into 5th place, and trying to shift 105 Keith Palmer out of the way to move through into 4th, having a bit of trouble getting around that white top driver at the moment, as Keith Palmer 105 defends his 4th place down the back straight. Almost takes Bert Finnegan onto the infield, and now Rob Cowley 73 is having trouble getting round him. We've got a big pile up there on turns 3 and 4, which briefly captures 33 Peter Faulding, costs him a lot of time. The main people in trouble up there were number 50 Victor Jordan and 215 Jeff Nichols. Number 7 Phil Bicknell was briefly in trouble by the pits Ben Wires in car number 7, and 460 Chris Cooks looking for a gap in the traffic to rejoin the racing action in 460. So our race leader is still white top driver 159 John Sage. Big bumpers going in here from 33 Peter Faulding, a shift number 2 Paul Harrison right out of the way into turn 1, and Paul number 2 trying to get with Peter down the back straight to return the compliment into turn 3, but he's not going to get close enough. And Richard Knight 436 crunches the wires. A big shunt up there by the pits turn involving 212 Frankie Wayman, number 50 Victor Jordan, and 362 Lionel Shaw. Looks as though 105 Keith Palmer could also be involved up there on the pits Ben Wires. It's causing trouble for cars getting through the traffic, but our race leaders come through, and that's 159 John Sage. 55 Bert Finnegan has made his way through to second place on lap 6 of heat 2. It looks like Rob Cowley in 73 is in third, but still a white top leader of heat 2, 159 John Sage. The trouble up on the pits turn sorting itself out. Looks like we just left 105 Keith Palmer stranded up there on the exit of the back straight. And the lead could be about to change hands in the next few laps up on the back straight. 159 John Sage currently leads, but 55 Bert Finnegan getting very close into turn 3. Close enough to give 159 John Sage a tap on the exit of turn 4. And although Sage is holding his line, he pulls across on the home straight, and 55 Bert Finnegan gets through at the halfway stage. So John Sage 159 closes the door around turns 1 and 2, and once again on the exit of turn 2. And now Bert Finnegan gives him a nudge up the back straight, but still 159 John Sage defends his lead. The white top driver 159 really doing well to defend his lead, and still leads onto the home straight. 159 John Sage in first place, with 55 Bert Finnegan trying to get by him, and 73 Rob Cowley and 33 Peter Faulding have now caught up with the race leader as 55 Bert Finnegan goes through into the lead, and 159 John Sage begins to drop back down the places. Peter Faulding 33 goes in hard on 73 Rob Cowley and moves through into second place. So over the start finish line, it's 55 Bert Finnegan in the lead with 5 laps to run next time. 5 to run for 55 Bert Finnegan when he comes around the pits turn this time, with 33 Peter Faulding losing ground in second place, and 73 Rob Cowley in third. 159 John Sage still holds 4th place from number 2 Paul Harrison, and 212 Frankie Wayman Sr. weighs in 5th. So there's your race leaders with under 5 laps to run on the back straight. 55 Bert Finnegan and 33 Peter Faulding, first and second in heat 2 of tonight's World Championship qualifying round. John Sage 159, the early race leader, dropping back down the places. He's now in 6th place. Bert Finnegan 55's gone wide on turns 1 and 2, and 33 Peter Fording goes through to lead heat 2, but he's under pressure from Bert Finnegan down the back straight. The Finnegan 55 tries to get with Fording 33 around turns 3 and 4, and this time they're looking at the 3 laps to run board. That's 3 laps to run for the race leader 33 Peter Fording, with Bert Finnegan 55 right behind him around turns 1 and 2, and a little way down in third it's 73 Rob Cowley. So at the back straight it's still close from the lead to 33 Peter Fording, the current track championship leader here at Long Eaton, now looking at the 2 laps to run board, with still 55 Bert Finnegan breathing right down his neck around turns 1 and 2. 73 Rob Cowley is dropping back in 3rd place, and there's a battle for 4th between number 2 Paul Harrison and 2-on-2 Frankie Wayman Senior. But around turns 3 and 4, this time with 1 lap to run, 33 Peter Fording in 1st and 55 Bert Finnegan in 2nd place. 73 Rob Cowley's gone out of 3rd position, looks like he's got a flat back tyre in the 73 car. So he's dropped down to 5th place as our race leader 33 Peter Fording pulls away from Bert Finnegan 55 around turns 3 and 4 for the last time, and this time it's a checkered flag for Peter Fording 33 from 55 Bert Finnegan in 2nd place. Looks like number 2 Paul Harrison's made his way through into 3rd with 2-on-2 Frankie Wayman in 4th. Looks like 2-on-2 Frankie Wayman Senior lost a lap earlier on, and we keep the cars coming to get everyone down on the charts. We still keep them coming to get all the drivers down on the charts, still places to be won. Okay, we can have the red flags please. There's the winner of Heat 2 on the back of the pace float to receive your applause, 33 Peter Fording. Coming on to starters' orders for Heat 3, and there goes the green flag, racing over 16 laps with 8 drivers to go forward. Tonight's grand final, event 5 on the programme. And already trouble for 343 Barry Heath and 195 Tony Smith, 2 yellow top drivers in a tangle up there on turn 4 before they'd even crossed the start-finish line to get going in Heat 3. And also a big smash over there for 116 Phil Rogers and 21 Mark Gilbank, who tangled up and gone into the banking here on the exit of turn 2, trying to get unhooked. And 234 Mark Duxbury spins out of the action on turns 3 and 4, stranded on the inside of the track, get going again, but he's down a few places after spinning out of Heat 3. And also 195 Tony Smith pulls up here at the bottom of the home straight. 2 red top drivers in a tangle, 213 Des Chandler and 98 Les Spencer going off and onto the infield and losing time. And the race leader is 181 Gary Walker over on the back straight into turns 3 and 4. The lead car in Heat 3 with 503 Jeff Parker in 2nd place and number 5 Johnny Goodall in 3rd. There goes our lead car over the start-finish line and into turns 1 and 2. 503 Jeff Parker in 2nd place, coming under pressure from 21 Mark Gilbank, but Gilbank is down after a tangle on turn 2, obviously trying to get back into the places, but he's got an awful lot of work to do. And indeed puts the brakes on too heavily and spins out of the action. Big shunt up there on the pits turn with 343 Barry Heath going in hard on 434 Pete McCrudden. After 172 Stevie Hodgson send him towards the wires, and now Barry Heath collects 98 Les Spencer and 234 Mark Duxbury also goes into the stranded 343 car up on the pits turn. And we lost 195 Tony Smith again. Another big shunt as number 5 Johnny Goodall this time joins the fray on the pits turn after a tangle with 441 John Lawn. So all sorts of bother up there on the pits turn for all these cars piling in. Most of them trying to get racing again. But 343 Barry Heath still spun the wrong way around. And 181, Gary Walker still leads heat 3 under pressure from a back marker, 234 Mark Duxbury. Duxbury's lost a lap, and a dust storm here on the home straight being caused by a car spinning off onto the centre green. It's making visibility a bit difficult for these Formula 1 drivers down the home straight. But our race leader is over on the back straight, and that's 181 Gary Walker. Here he comes off turn 4, the lead car on heat 3, 181. 515 Frankie Wayman Jr. has moved through into second place. And he's going to put the leader under pressure down the back straight, 181. Gary Walker still leads into turn 3, but there's the bumper from Frankie Wayman Jr., 515. And he nits up the inside, although Walker's trying to defend his lead in 181. Makes life difficult for 515 at the halfway stage. So Frankie Wayman Jr. has moved through into the lead at the halfway. The lead 4 all on turns 1 and 2. And those are 515 Frankie Wayman Jr. in first, 172 Stevie Hodgson second, 53 John Lunn trying to move through into third past 181 Gary Walker. That's the lead 4 on the charts. 515 Frankie Wayman Jr. trying to move through up the inside of a back marker, and that back marker is 234 Mark Duxbury. He goes another lap down. And the race leader is Frankie Wayman Jr., 515, the 1991 Long Eaton track champion, leading the race off turn 3, qualifying heat 3. There will be 5 laps to run next time for our race leader. That's 515 Frankie Wayman Jr. over on the back straight, with 172 Stevie Hodgson not losing ground. Blue top driver in second place, and the world champion 53 John Lund in third. Gary Walker 181 still performing very well from his white top grade, lying 4th at the moment over the start finish line, but under pressure for that 4th place from number 87 Neil Brigg. But the race leaders over and clear on the back straight. 515 Frankie Wayman Jr. 172 Stevie Hodgson in second, moving up the inside of 382 Paul Pennington to put Pennington a lap down, and 53 John Lund trying to do the same in third place. Those lead 3 are well clear of 4th place driver 87 Neil Brigg, with white top 181 Gary Walker in 5th. The 3 laps to run board being prepared for our race leader. 515 Frankie Wayman Jr. drifted a little wide on turns 3 and 4, which allowed Stevie Hodgson 172 to close, bumping all the way down the home straight in the 172 car, with 53 John Lund not far behind in third place. White top Gary Walker 181 coming under pressure from 98 Les Spencer, as Spencer tries to put Walker down the places, but Walker's holding on valiantly from his white grade. Makes life difficult for Spencer up the back straight, and Michael Eyes 236 follows the 98 car through past 181 Gary Walker. But that's a battle down the places. The lead car is 515 Frankie Wayman Jr. around turns 3 and 4, with 1 lap to run this time, as the battle for second place hots up between 172 Stevie Hodgson and 53 John Lund. John Lund very close on Hodgson as they go on to the back straight for the last time. 515 Frankie Wayman Jr. is a little way clear, but second place could still change. 172 Stevie Hodgson coming under pressure from 53 John Lund. Lund shunts Hodgson wide, and Hodgson pulls over, and 53 John Lund comes through to second as Frankie Wayman Jr. 515 takes the checkered flag in heat 3. So the sports top 2 move through into the top 2 places, with 515 Frankie Wayman Jr. leading the way in heat 3, and 53 John Lund taking the runners-up spot. Okay, we can have the red flags, please. There's the winner of heat 3 on the back of the pace vote. To receive your applause, 515 Frankie Wayman Jr. of the World Championship qualifying round. And already trouble for number 6, Phil Wilton, up on the pits turn, takes 436, Richard Knight into the wires with him, and 507, Neil Smith has spun out of the action onto the centre green. 291, Rob Squire is one of the 4 drivers that doesn't make it over the start-finish line, and a shunt here on turns 1 and 2 involving number 50, Vic Jordan, number 7, Phil Bicknell, and 378, Wayne Handley. 460, Chris Cook goes in ever so hard on the back straight into a fence post, and now he's broadside across the back straight with all the pack charging by the 460 car. Number 40, Steve Smith, spins out of the action on turn 2. He was leading the race at the time and hands the lead over to 139, Stuart Smith. There goes the race leader into turns 1 and 2. 116, Phil Rogers is in second as we lose 413, Matthew Bennett up on the pits turn. And 434, Pete McCrun goes in ever so hard right at the end of the home straight here, keeping an eye on that situation at the end of the home straight. And it looks like we need the yellow flags.
Leader, 139.
139, Stuart Smith is the race leader. There goes the green flag on the restart of the Consolation with 6 drivers to go through to tonight's grand final. It's 139 Stuart Smith in first and 116 Phil Rogers in second on the restart. So 507, Neil Smith spins out of the action right in front of the race leader and then leaps onto the centre green quite spectacularly in the 507 car. We lost 195, Tony Smith on the exit of turn 2 as our race leader races on by, and that's 139, Stuart Smith, the white graded driver from Chesterfield. Putting the bumper in on 436, Richard Knight moving through on the inside, putting Knight a lap down and over the start-finish line once again. Race leader 139, Stuart Smith. 116, Phil Rogers still lies in second place. Then it looks like Mark Gilbank, number 21, is in third on the charts with 22. Will Yarrow fourth and 91. Will Falls in fifth place. Here's the race leader again over the start-finish line. About to be a change in the places with 116 Phil Rogers being shunted heavily into turns 1 and 2, and Mark Gilbank, number 21, races through on the inside, but Phil Rogers right behind him and putting the bumper in the battle for second place. And now 116 Phil Rogers almost spun right out of it, but collected by 424 Mike Hayward and spun back into the action. Our race leader is 139 Stuart Smith here over the start finish line, and it is the halfway stage of the Consolation with 139 Stuart Smith still leading from his white top grade, 21 Mark Gilbank in second place, and 116 Phil Rogers from white still lying third. There's 3 lower graders in the top 3 places at the moment. 4 through 6 Richard Knight getting hooked up with number 40 Steve Smith on the exit of turn 4, and being spun right out of the action in front of the race leader is 195 Tony Smith, but Stuart Smith 139 avoids it all and still leads the Consolation on the back straight. We've lost 113 Russell Humphrey and 424 Mike Hayward in a tangle over on turns 1 and 2. Flash fire from the back of the Hayward car as he tries to get the engine restarted, and the race leader moves through on the inside, avoiding the problem. 139 Stuart Smith with 21 Mark Gilbank second and 116 Phil Rogers in third. Looks like 91 Will Fawns is the first higher grade driver to show on the charts in fourth place, with 22 William Yarrow in fifth. And the race leader has 5 laps to run next time. That's 139 Stuart Smith. He's still a long way clear off second place driver number 21 Mark Gilbank, so every chance that the white top graded Stuart Smith 139 could land a race win at our World Championship qualifying round here tonight. But having said that, he appears to be slowing down and pulling over for the back markers. Indeed, it looks like our race leader has got a problem in the 139 car as Mark Gilbank, number 21, moves through to lead the Consolation event down the back straight. So there's the top 2, 21 Mark Gilbank in first and 139 Stuart Smith in second. 91 Will Fawns has moved through into third place, and there go the race leaders over the start-finish line. Still 21 Mark Gilbank, and Stuart Smith 139 appears to have fired up and is racing properly once again. He certainly slowed dramatically just a couple of laps ago, which cost him the race lead. Phil Rogers 116 being humped out of the action by 98 Les Spencer, and those drivers were 4th and 5th on the charts when Les Spencer shifted the 116 car right into the wires. So a good drive from the white top driver, ends in nothing as Phil Rogers is facing the wires, and in on the inside comes the race leader, number 21 Mark Gilbank. And Gilbank has now just 2 laps to run in tonight's Consolation event, with 139 Stuart Smith second place and not far behind, and number 91 Will Fawns still in third. 98 Les Spencer is 4th, and it looks like 2 on 2 Frankie Wayman Senior may well be in 5th place. And the race leader goes a little wide on the exit of turn 4, but doesn't allow the second place driver to close any, and now Mark Gilbank's into his last lap in the 21 car, with 139 Stuart Smith still not far behind as they go onto the back straight for the last time on tonight's Consolation. The race leaders around turns 3 and 4 with the checkered flag being prepared. And number 21 Mark Gilbank wins it as our 3rd and 4th place drivers on the charts tangle. 91 Will Fawns and 98 Les Spencer go out to the action, and they're losing places and may not qualify for tonight's grand final. Will Fawns crosses the line in 91 and Les Spencer 98, but 7 or 8 drivers must have gone by as they tangled up on turns 3 and 4 on the last lap. Okay, we can have the red flags, please. There goes the green flag on tonight's grand final. 28 cars over 28 racing laps. This is a World Championship qualifying round, and the leader into turn 1 is 397 Steve Reese. '73 Rob Cowley and 172 Stevie Hodgson briefly tangled. It looks like 471 Bobby Burns has ground to a halt, and on the exit of turn 2 we've lost 117 Rob Scriven. Bobby Burns 471 retires to the safety of the infield, and that's a big name that's gone in the early stages. Bumpers going in amongst the red top ranks all around turns 3 and 4, with Bert Finnegan 55 on a wide line and losing ground. William Yarrow on amongst them. 53 John Lund's been spun out of the action here and rolled right over. 53 John Lund rolled right over, and we go yellow flags. And we call for the red flags, please. The drama in the early laps of the final as Danny Clark took 53 John Lund to the wires and rolled the world champion right the way over. Yes, red. And we have put the red flags on the final, which means that both 471 Bobby Burns and the cause of the stoppage 53 John Lund are allowed to rejoin the restart if they so wish. Of course, Bobby Burns was out on the infield at the time of the stoppage. 53 John Lund, of course, on his side right here in front of race control. Both drivers are allowed to rejoin the restarted final. And we have put all remaining drivers on 2 minutes to line up for the grand final. 2 minutes only for the restart of the grand final.
No repairs on the track.
rolling away. And final World Championship qualifying round. "26 cars coming under starters' orders on the rerun of the grand final. There goes the green flag, and the grand final is underway. It's over 16 laps, shortened by 4 in an effort to get the Grand National underway, and our leader is 159, John Sage. Bumpers going in hard on turn 1, and 515, Frankie Wayman Jr. spun out of the action by 53, John Lunn, and we've got another rollover on the far side, and we're called for the yellow flags. So the yellows unfortunately have to be put out as Michael Eyes 236 has rolled his car on the exit of turn 2. Bumpers going in hard on turn 1, and 515, Frankie Wayman Jr. spun out of the action by 53, John Lunn, and we've got another rollover on the far side, and we're called for the yellow flags. There goes the green flag on the restart of the Grand Final World Championship qualifying round action, with 159 John Sage in the lead from 202 Richard Mason and 181 Gary Walker. Sparks flies, Stevie Hodgson 172 goes up the inside of number 22 William Yarrow. Yarrow returns the compliment here on turns 3 and 4, which forces Hodgson wide, and through on the inside is 128 John Wright and number 22 William Yarrow. That's the battle for 5th place, with Yarrow all over the outside of the 128 car of John Wright, and coming in with the bumpers on the exit of turn 2. And that's cost John Wright 128 his race, and also 172 Stevie Hodgson spun out of the action. And our race leader is 202 Richard Mason, who's gone through to lead from 159 John Sage, 181 Gary Walker and 234 Mark Duxbury. So 202 Richard Mason tries to shift 371 Shane Durrell out of the action as the bumpers go in hard over on turns 3 and 4, with 169 Andy Clark being shifted out of the way by 55 Bert Finnegan. And 33 Peter Paulding does likewise to 203 Danny Clark, and spins 203 Danny Clark out of the action on turns 1 and 2. Still 202 Richard Mason that leads the grand final from 159 John Sage and 181 Gary Walker, with 73 Rob Cowley in 4th. We have to look a long way back down track before we get our first red top driver showing on the charts, and that's 471 Bobby Burns, who's way down in about 8th place. And also half a lap down on the race here, there's a big shunt over on the back straight involving 203 Danny Clark, 169 Andy Clark, 73 Rob Cowley and 181 Gary Walker. And Walker and Cowley were up on the places about 4th and 5th when that little lot occurred. And now they're all pulling back across the track trying to get restarted. And the lead car is still 202 Richard Mason around turns 1 and 2. He's a long way clear of the second place driver. That's C-grade white roof driver 159 John Sage. Those two a long way clear of the rest of the racing pack. 202 Richard Mason in first across the start-finish line at the halfway stage of tonight's grand final. 159 John Sage is still in second place. There are World Championship qualifying points up for grabs tonight, and on his way to take 25 of them is number 202 Richard Mason in first place, and 20 points on second place, and at the moment it's 159 John Sage that holds that place. '73 Rob Cowley could well have moved through into second place, although he may have been involved over on the back straight shunt earlier in the laps, and there will be 5 laps to run next time for the race leader 202 Richard Mason. Mason's a long way clear of the rest of the pack. His grand final victory is sewn up if he can hold his nerve over the last 5 laps, and Richard Mason is a very experienced driver and probably will do so. He's on turns 1 and 2. The race leader of tonight's World Championship qualifying round, grand final, 202 Richard Mason into turns 3 and 4. This time there's 4 to run for 202 Richard Mason around turns 1 and 2. And still no one getting any closer to his lead. He's a good half a lap clear over on the back straight. Yellow top driver 202 Richard Mason from Bradford. And this time it will be the 3 laps to run board for the driver of the 202 car. John Sage has got to retire with a flat back tyre, and that's cruel luck on the 159 car that was on for a top 3 finish in the later stages of the grand final. Only 2.5 laps to run, and 159 John Sage robbed of a good finish. 202 Richard Mason puts the bumper in on 202 Paul Harrison, and Gary Walker spins right in front of the race leader, but he survives, and this time he's got 2 to run. That's 202 Richard Mason around turns 1 and 2 with back marker Paul Harrison number 2 for company up the back straight. A lap and a half to run for the leader of tonight's grand final. This time it's the last lap board showing to 202 Richard Mason. Looks like 33 Peter Faulding has moved through into second place, but he's over a half a lap down on the race leader, who's going into turns 3 and 4 for the last time. 25 World Championship qualifying points and the grand final victory about to go to 202 Richard Mason. And the bumper's going in hard down here on turns 1 and 2 as the race continues down the places. 175 Rob Pearce tries to shift drivers out the way. He's coming in on Des Chandler 213 into the last bend. That's the battle for about 6th and 7th place on the charts, which 213 Des Chandler holds in the closing stages of the grand final. Okay, we can have the red flags, please. .23 cars on track over 16 racing laps. This is a stock sign Grand National. Trouble amongst the yellow tops already for 424 Mike Hayward and 195 Tony Smith, with Tony broadside across the track in the 195 car, and 424 up against the wires Mike Hayward. Our race leader is number 40 Steve Smith over on the back straight, and Bert Finnegan 55 spins out of the action, avoiding those 2 yellow tops that had hooked up here on the exit of turn 1. We lost our leader, number 40 Steve Smith, spun out of the action by 159 John Sage. 87 Neil Brigg has retired to the safety of the infield. And 362 Lionel Shaw spins out of the action here on turns 1 and 2. There's a change in the lead, and it's 21 Mark Gilbank that goes through to lead. So Mark Gilbank, who won the Consolation earlier on in the evening, leads the Stocksign Grand National up the back straight in car number 21 for 234 Mark Duxbury in second place. A tangle amongst the blue tops, 113 Russell Humphrey, 91 Will Fawns in a heap here on the exit of turn 2, and the pack having to go either side of them as they're right in the middle of the racing line. And our race leader 21 Mark Gilbank is almost spinning out of the action to avoid those 2 blue tops, and hands the lead over to 234 Mark Duxbury. So it's Duxbury who leads around turns 3 and 4, with Gilbank number 21 now back in second place. 424 Mike Hayward spins out of the action under pressure from 73 Rob Cowley, but then gets shunted back round by Cowley. And Cowley is in third place on the charts in car number 73. John Lund 53 taken onto the infield by 169 Andy Clark, although John's away and racing again and bouncing all over the show in an effort to get back in the racing. Taken onto the infield by Andy Clark, 169. The 234 Mark Duxbury goes around turns 1 and 2, the race leader. So as the dust begins to rise once again on a very direct track, it's 234 Mark Duxbury leads and 53 John Lund spins, 169 Andy Clark around and out of the action. Andy presented a problem for John early on in the race, so John Lund 53 not taking any prisoners this time as he tries to get past the 169 car. It's still 234 Mark Duxbury that leads. Over the start-finish line and into turns 1 and 2, that's the leader, 234 Mark Duxbury. Burnley-based Duxbury, very smartly presented car, also going very well indeed in this stop sign Grand National. With 21 Mark Gilbank second, 73 Rob Cowley third, 471 Bobby Burns in fourth and 175 Rob Pearce in fifth place. The race leader across the start-finish line once again and into turn 1. And it is the halfway stage of the stop sign Grand National for 234 Mark Duxbury, the race leader. So Duxbury 234 away and clear in the lead, and the battle's on for second place between Mark Gilbank 21, who's coming in for the big one from 73 Rob Cowley. Gilbank forced wide with 5 laps to run next time, and Bobby Burns 471 coming in on the action and over second place shunts Rob Cowley into turn 1 in the 73 car. Now Bobby Burns is up the inside of Cowley down the back straight in 471. But Cowley holds him out down the back straight, although Burnsy's got him into turn 3, bounces over the inside wheel of Rob Cowley, which allows Mark Gilbank 21 to come through into second place once again. And Bobby Burns in third on his bumper, almost crunches the wires here. And now Rob Cowley moving through, bumpers going in on Rob Pearce to 175, and that's the battle for second place on the charts with about 8 to 9 drivers all in contention for second. The race leaders away and clear, 234 Mark Duxbury, 175 Rob Pearce spun out of the action by 213 Des Chandler. 73 Rob Cowley now in second place with 471 Bobby Burns third, 21 Mark Gilbank fourth, 260 Dave Beresford is fifth, and 53 John Lund in sixth place. That's the 3 laps to run ball for 234 Mark Duxbury, a long way clear of this battle for second place with Rob Cowley 73 at the moment leading the charge with 471 Bobby Burns third. The rest of the cars come through all very evenly matched with Richard Mason 202 trying to get into the places. Richard Mason in a 202 car is just in 9th place at the moment, 1 place outside double points and double prize money, so he'll be hoping these drivers on track in front of him tangle up in their efforts to get through further on the places in the closing stage of the stock sign Grand National. That's the 1 lap to run board for 234 Mark Duxbury. 73 Rob Cowley still in second with 471 Bobby Burns third. Mark Gilbank 21 moving back down the places, and that's the one Richard Mason 202 needs to catch to move through into 8th place in the very closing stages. Checkered flag being prepared for 234 Mark Duxbury. He wins the stop sign Grand National, and there's a tangle for second place. Rob Cowley 73 taken out of 7th place by 471 Bobby Burns, and 213 Des Chandler's also gone here on the home straight. It's a drama in the closing stage of the stop sign Grand National, and that puts the final winner Richard Mason 202 through into the double points and double prize money. And Des Chandler 213 reversing to a finish across the line, and we lost Rob Cowley and Bobby Burns, and we can have the red flags please.